Good evening. I'll start with my dear friend, Professor Arosha Disanayaka. Thank you for that generous words of introduction. It was truly great pleasure to work with you in the past year. In your induction speech a year ago, you described the resilience as the new dimension of a good doctor. Resilience is what you and your able counsel showcased in 2022 to the medical community in the country and to the world at large, as Arosha describes in his lecture, in his speech today. Not merely surviving the obstacles, but standing taller and stronger for having gone through the trials. Amidst many constraints, you and your team bridge many gaps and cross many a divide, conducting numerous activities to stimulate both hemispheres of our brains. In years to come, many will marvel at what was achieved in year 2022 under your wise and dynamic leadership through one of the most turbulent times the country has ever seen. You, along with your counsel, were able to show the medical community the true meaning of conquering new frontiers through all odds and impossibilities. All will revere the rich legacy you and your counsel are leaving behind. I salute you and your counsel for the work well done. As a very close friend of over 15 years, I know that you will work closely with me and my team in 2023 to take the CCP to new heights. Thank you. My dear trustees of Ceylon College of Physicians, the past presidents, members of the council, fellows, members, associate members, and distinguished invitees. I feel both humbled and privileged by your resolve to bestow upon me the prestigious presidency of Ceylon College of Physicians in the 56th year of its existence and as the 47th president. I accept this honor with all humility. I thank the past presidents for nominating me to be the president 2023. Trusting in my ability to serve at the helm of our college. 13 of the great physicians who led the CCP are no longer with us. I honor their memory. I pay tribute to the past presidents who have tirelessly served the college, bringing it to the status it holds today. I am grateful to all past presidents who are here to share this honored evening with us and ones who have sent their blessings being unable to present tonight. Thank you all. The CCP stands as an umbrella organization of all specialties with MD medicine qualification. As Arush said, it is the Mahagether of all physicians. I am proud to say that we have representatives of all specialties from most provinces of the country and of all age groups in the Council 2023. I thank you all for being with me and look forward to your continued support during this year. Let us make it a rewarding year. I would like to make a special mention of members who are very keen to join the council this year, but unfortunately could not be accommodated. Yet they firmly pledged their support to the college activities. I very much appreciate this level of understanding, trust, and loyalty. I am truly grateful to you all. My journey in CCP began in 1999. The membership of the college was the gift Dr. Sarath Gamini De Silva, my beloved trainer in medicine, gave me for passing the MD medicine exam that year. While working at Teaching Hospital Karapetiya, Dr. M.K. Raghunathan consistently constantly encouraged me to be a part of the council of the CCP. It was his perseverance that made me become a council member in 2007 under the presidency of Professor Chandrika Vijayaratne. I still vividly remember Dr. Henry Rajaratnam and Dr. Sarath Gavanedi Silva asking me to be ready for this eventuality of being the president of CCP at the induction ceremony of Professor Rizvi Moideen far back in 2008. Over the years, many more encouraged me to take up the challenge. 15 years later, having served 3 of them as treasurer under Dr. Lalit Vijayaratne, Dr. Nihal Gunatilaka and Professor Pandu Karnanayaka, 4 as council member of Professor Chandrika Vijayaratne, Professor Rizvi Moideen, Professor S.D. Jayaratne and Professor Chandani Manikatunga, and many contributions as resource person. Today I stand before you fulfilling their prophecy. I wish to thank them all for the confidence they placed in me. At this point, I would like to draw your attention to a photograph I treasured a lot. This was taken in 2017 in Nuwara during a visit to hold a CCP regional meeting where I contributed as a resource person. At that time, this group had only 2 individuals who have been presidents of the college. 10 years on, by end of this year, 6 of them have served as presidents, and the president 2024 will be the 7th. By the way, 2 young gentlemen here will be sitting the exam, A-level exam starting on next Monday, and I wish them well. This photograph depicts an important legacy of CCP dedication of its membership with continued involvement in its activities. Very well said about it by Arosha. Our dedicated members continually spend their time and energy while expecting nothing in return to continue college activities and fulfilling its long-term goals to its full potential without divergence. The ultimate goal being to serve our patients to the best of our ability, while not being content at the best, striving for new ways to make the best better. The strength of the CCP derived from this factor alone places it in a unique position to guide the future of healthcare in Sri Lanka. It is no secret that the healthcare in Sri Lanka is at a critical juncture. The fallout of 2022 economic debacle on healthcare will truly be felt in 2023. Shortfall in supply of medicines, consumables and equipment, suboptimal infrastructure facilities due to restricted funding, and scarcity of human resources due to the alarmingly high rate of brain drain with immigration of trained staff, not only doctors, the nurses, therapists, and radiographers, and many more, will be a severe impediment on our attempts to deliver a holistic healthcare to a population already burdened with economic constraints and psychosocial stresses. This will affect the public and private sector healthcare services alike. We are already witnessing an increase in patient numbers in the public sector due to the obvious reasons, further stretching the resources available to the Ministry of Health thinner than ever before. If we are not to buckle under the pressure of 2 less facilities and much more to do, a change in perspective is called for. Moving from the best care to the best possible care is not an option, but is becoming a necessity. In practice, this may seem an impossible feat at first. Some might even feel it is unthinkable, revert into barbaric ways of treating. But humans are a remarkable breed, especially Sri Lankans, able to adapt to the most hostile environments to ensure survival. And we are humans and Sri Lankans, and we should be able to do it again and again. Modern medicine was not born overnight. It is the result of thousands of years of observation, practice, patience, and perseverance. It always took one person who thought differently rather than giving up in the face of adversity to change the practice of centuries. Beauty of going forward is that we can always opt to reverse and track back our steps. We moved forward not knowing what to expect, but on moving backwards, we know exactly what to expect, having passed that already. When there was no fuel, we started walking and cycling. We knew how to do both from our childhood days, but had conveniently forgotten when faced with luxuries. But we went back and did that. Historically, we have learned that 80% of the diagnosis is provided by history and 10% by examination, and only 10% is afforded by investigations. Yet, with availability of modern day plethora of tests, we have conveniently chosen to spend less time with our patients, handing over diagnostic duties to machines. Then, in the name of evidence-based medicine and bombarded by guidelines, we have resorted to prescribing long list of medications per disease. None of these are affordable to our people nor the government anymore for the time being. We together with our sister colleges can formulate local guidance considering the cost effectiveness as prime criteria for all to follow in order to render healthcare more sustainable. I'm happy to see that some of our sister colleges in collaboration with us have taken steps in this direction, and it is time for us to utilize these in managing patients in our day-to-day practice. Using the available resources with care through shrewd management, using lessons from the history, moving towards more clinically oriented practice of medicine will help to rationalize the use of investigations and medication, thereby preserving resources. Hence, rather than being disheartened by constrained resources, can we move back to our basics and learn towards clinical medicine in diagnosis and rational prescription, something the CCP need to think about. In the current context, in a situation as fluid as this, business as usual will not be the path to take. Changes in mode of delivery of care be called for, and we need to take it up ourselves. As leaders in medical field, we should not only practice these ideas idle, but instill these in our proteges. I had the fortune of learning practice of clinical medicine in the shadows of great clinicians we had in our country, leaving a long-lasting effect on the way I practice medicine. As a third-year medical student, Dr. U.S. Jayavikrama and Dr. Mrs. Soma De Silva taught me the ABC of clinical medicine. At that time, it was beyond me to grasp the ability to make a very accurate diagnosis by taking the history and examination and at bedside. Second in command at that time, Dr. Jayavikrama's ward, Professor Janaka De Silva, made an everlasting impact on recognizing physical signs and interpreting them with ease. His verbal reproduction of auscultatory sounds of heart and lung still echoes in my ears. My final phase of training in medicine at the Faculty of Medicine, Colombo was under the team of physicians led by Professor Rizvi Sharif. The legacy continued. As intern, I learned about the rational use of investigation from Dr. D.U.R. Gunawardana. His practice of asking house officers and SHOs to explain why each of the investigation was performed on a patient led me to rationally think before performing any. A practice I recommend all our members adopt in our practice and instill that in your trainees for the intern medical officers. This will certainly help us in this crisis situation rather than ordering battery of laboratory tests soon as the patient comes in. As an SHO and medical registrar, Dr. Saratgamini De Silva encouraged me to be with patients more, do least possible number of investigations, and use medicines rationally and interpret published scientific evidence and guidelines critically to use it in a critical way. Later choosing to continue my career in rheumatology, this early training has become invaluable. Practice of rheumatology is still very much clinically oriented despite all the advances in diagnostic and therapeutics. In getting into this field, as I was lucky enough to be nurtured in the shadows of giants in rheumatology, I'm grateful to my trainers, Dr. Lalit Vijayaratna, Dr. Mrs. Linali Panangala, Dr. Nihal Gunatilaka, and Associate Professor Siri Kannagar from Concord Hospital, Australia, Sydney, Australia, for making me a patient-centric rheumatologist. I believe this practice has become all more important in managing our patients at present juncture. Hence, a look back at what our own teachers practiced would help us to make a step back and plan for a better future. Traditional approach towards health and disease has been a biomedical model, where the person's ill health was exclusively treated by medical means based on learnings of pathophysiology of a disease. It is undeniable that this model has many shortcomings when we try to impart a holistic care. At the same time, deviation from age-old practice of art of medicine towards science of medicine is a major culprit, putting us under tremendous pressure, when there is financial pressure, particularly when trying to practice modern medicine during an economic constraints. Working within the biomedical model with the best use of art of medicine may help us to lower the cost of patient management. Yet, this may not achieve the WHO goal of good health, a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. Especially in populations severely affected by economic downfall, having many socio-economic stresses on their lives. Delivery of this will need a holistic healthcare approach, an approach to wellness that simultaneously addresses the physical, mental, emotional, social, and spiritual components of health. Given the multifactorial nature of this concept of health, I'm sure all agree, wherever possible, we should strive to identify all factors that has an effect on patient's health condition. Using of appropriate intervention to address these, which may be even non-medical, could be a positive effect on patient's health. Hence, an alternative model to traditional biomedical concept was searched by many. The biopsychosocial approach was developed at Rochester decades ago by Drs. George Engel and John Romano, who were American specialists in internal medicine and psychiatry from the University of Rochester Medical Center, Rochester, New York. This was first published in their landmark paper in 1977 by George Liebman Engel. He offered a holistic alternative to prevailing biomedical model. He recognized that to understand and respond adequately to the patient's suffering, clinicians must attend simultaneously to the biological, psychological, and social dimension of the illness, which may need us to apply much more now. The main drawback of the biomedical model still seen widely in the healthcare workers is for them to tend to see the disease while being conveniently blind to the person with the disease. He tried to reverse this dehumanization of medicine and disempowerment of the patient through this new concept. I believe this is very much relevant in today's context as well. In rehabilitation medicine, we have adopted this model for delivering holistic care in WHO International Classification for Function, Disability, and Health. It is recognized that disease or injury will affect and cause impairment of the structure and function of the body, leading to activity limitation and prescription participation restriction in daily life. There are contextual factors, both personal and environmental, that will act as facilitators to overcome the above mentioned or act as barriers, worsening the outcome. In an individual, patient detailed history and examination will provide us with relevant on each of the components, which is in turn will facilitate holistic care of such patient or planning a holistic care for them. Adapting biopsychosocial model to any form of illness is feasible. This will help in caring of our patients more humanly, curing some, relieving the suffering of most, and comforting all, as the founders of our college intend us to perform as depicted in our emblem. This concept of holistic care is that patient management need to be addressed in many facets. Like many petals of the lotus flower, make a picturesque end product, bringing all relevant components for a holistic care together will result in a healthy person, true to WHO definition. Delivering that in a gloomy environment like today is no easy task. But ladies and gentlemen, we have to aspire to and build a brighter future for the sake of our motherland. Hence our theme for the year, holistic care amidst constraint. Revert into our smiley of the lotus, the nature has provided us with the perfect example which grows in most unlikely of places to produce a beautiful and fragrant result that brighten the gloomy surrounding in its frank form. As the college, I propose to empower our members and their teams to deliver holistic care amid constraints through our academic programs in 2023. The ability to lead, communicate well, and manage work-related stress are going to be key attributes that will enable us to successfully overcome the crisis. I envisage incorporating these into the proposed academic program in 2023. All components of the academic program will have an emphasis on clinical decision-making, rational use of investigation and medications to the benefit of clinical team members, including medical officers and postgraduate trainees. In these troubled times, maintain the clarity of mind and mental well-being of our own membership will be important. To achieve this, I believe that opportunities to have fellowship among members and activities that may take our minds beyond medicine should be an essential component. Let this evening be the beginning of such activities. Hope you will enjoy it. I invite all members of the CCP to join hand with my council and myself to make these endeavors truly successful. Let's embark on this challenging year ahead together, knowing we might have to go backwards in order to move forward, sometimes relearn, maybe even unlearn to do our best for our patients, to the profession and our nation, staying true to the spirit of our college. I wish to salute our membership, always working in silence, without expectation of glory or splendor. You have been battling the past months, trying to provide the best possible care to our patients under the circumstance. In absence of print paper or fuel to travel, many services would have come to a standstill. But even when many essential tools of the trade were scarce, physicians in all tiers still choose to continue to work and care their patients. They are the unsung heroes. Hopefully, authorities will try to keep them in this country by trying to support them to do this rather than discouraging them. Before I conclude, I would like to ask a moment of your time. Thank a few special people who shaped me into who I am today, with an ability to take up this prestigious post for the college. My parents, who are no more with us, doing the best they could to make me a useful person. My siblings, who grew up together with me in a very supportive household. Together with their families, still supporting my life's endeavors. My wife's family members doing the same since the day we met. Heleni and Sihal, you have joined me in many activities of the CCP. Sometimes getting scolded in your school from your two teachers for frequent absence, especially in 2013. I am blessed to have you both. You have steadfastly supported me, being the best versions of yourselves. Thank you. Iresha, my wife, for being with me with that wonderful smile through the ups and downs of our lives together. Never wavered in support, being the person who knows me the most, who knows my strength and weaknesses the best. I take solace in your belief and draw strength from your conviction that I can do this post justice. I believe that whatever we achieve in our lives is due to the influence from all whom we associate with on the way. I thank all my teachers from school, Faculty of Medicine, clinical training for their wonderful guidance, and all my friends and colleagues. I have as my personal guest today, representing my friends from my Montessori days to the Royal College, to the faculty days. And thank you for accepting that invitation, being here, and for giving that extra bit of experience to improve my life. Since we do not have formal vote of thanks to deliver today's program, I would like to take this opportunity to thank personally as well as on behalf of the Council all those contributed to organizing this event. Namely, Trudy Korea and Tariq Nisamuddin from Hotel Galadari and their team, Nalina Manasinghe and his team from Impress Events for AV, Mr. Penumal Boni for developing the theme logo, Mr. Amal Ranawaka and team of photographers, Captain Dayakirti, Lieutenant Commander Sampath Abeysekara, and they are members of the orchestra who entertained us earlier and will do so during the dinner time. Admiral Nishant Ulugutanna for making it possible to have these lovely musicians. Professor Harshini Rajapaksa, Dr. Madhuwanti Hettiarachchi, Dr. Disna Amaratunga and Dr. Himantha Attukorala for agreeing to showcase their well-known singing capabilities tonight. So ladies and gentlemen, please come in with your dinner and enjoy their songs and music. The CCP office staff is Charmaine De Silva, Kumara Fernando, Sarath Hettiarachchi, Amanda Ganegoda, and our mace bearer, Mr. Samaratna, always been there for us. Our volunteer health force, Dr. Suvini Gunasekara, Ashan Bopitiya, Timal Beddage, and Rashini Kaluhendige. We, of course, got two multifaceted gems in our office at this time. Doctors Mayun Ruwanmella and Kalpana Kurupuarachchi for their untiring working during last few months and being wonderful compeers today. Thank you. And I thank my colleague Drs. Himantha Attukorala, Chiranti Liyanage and Varsha Disoisa for helping out. And all the members of the council who helped us in numerous ways. Of course, we need a nucleus in the organization when we organize such an event. This is the team induction 2023. Dr. Anushka Idirivira, Dr. Dumita Govindapala, Dr. Chamila Dalpadadu, and Dr. Chaturika Dandenia. They made plans and executed them brilliantly, rallying all others around them. That augurs well for the year ahead for the college. Thank you very much. And any shortcomings today will be due to my uncalled interference in their greater plans. Please bear with me. I apologize if I miss anybody by mentioning names. Finally, I thank you all for being here to share this moment. I'll cherish this very dearly. Ladies and gentlemen, let's enjoy the evening with food and music within this room, and let's enjoy the year ahead. Thank you all.